Hello, welcome back to Blend LiveENODING. In this episode, I want to show you how you can create something like this using grease pencil and some kind of circular array of geometry nodes. Alright, for simplicity today, I'm actually using also Erindale Toolkit or ETK Array Radial. So inside these nodes, of course, this is from ETK Erindale Toolkit. It comes with 44 nodes or something, and there's a bunch of nodes there that's really cool. I just gonna use one of them, Array Radial, and that's allowing you to duplicate objects in array. Okay, so that's the premise basically. So you can create like a drawing like this, like a random drawing, and then you just adjust the radial. I think in the past with geometry nodes you can actually just instance geometry nodes directly, but in recent version I don't think they allow that, but you can always kind of work around it. So I actually started with this doodle, and this is from the top view. This in front. I can look at this from the front view and actually make like changes. I can delete everything and then start drawing. Oops, go to draw mode, and maybe I should have also like set up oh yeah, I already set up a mirror, so we can end up with something really weird and fancy. But this is like a way to draw like a radial radial artwork like this. Yeah, I think you can end up with something really weird. But let me show you the breakdown. So currently we have Suzanne. This is the original drawing. I can hide it in the scene, and then I have a cube, which is this geometry nodes array. It's really simple. I can rebuild this from scratch, but I'm using this grid, and let's see, I have a grease pencil parented to the cube. Okay, so the cube is actually doing instancing of this polygon face. Okay, something really simple, and we can actually scale by face size as well. So we can control the size this way, and we can also randomize the size and the scale of the instance also. That's possible if we are using scale instances. And then you can use like random value, for example. Just plug this into the scale. So if you want something that's a little bit it has more variations. For now, let's keep it simple. First of all, so we have polygon face, and for every polygon face we're gonna instance this Suzanne or this grease pencil object. Okay, so if we create Shift A and create a monkey, so this is grease pencil object, another grease pencil object. If I go back to this cube, or I can call this just ETK Array Radial. If I duplicate this guy, I can then drag and drop this into this object while holding shift, so it's setting the parent. So putting the monkey head grease pencil object as a child of this guy, simply turning it into this radial array artwork. Okay, and you probably don't want to see this polygon face, so you want to hide it from here. Object, instance face, turn it off on the viewport, and only show up on the, actually you don't even want to show it on the render, I don't think. Yeah, so this is the final render, and you probably want to hide the original instance object as well. So yeah, let's take a look how I set this up very quickly. So this is a clean Blender scene. So I go to geometry nodes, and if I go Shift A, I don't have Erindale Toolkit yet, if you bought the Erindale Toolkit add-on, you're gonna have this blend files, and inside it there's a group nodes that you need. File, append, and yeah, so this is inside the blend files of Erindale Toolkit. You just dig inside it and node 3 and find the array radial. Okay, so I'm just using one of them. If you shift A group, you will see this ETK Array Radial. This is a group node. If I dig inside it, okay, you can recreate this from scratch. So that's basically what's going on. It's actually using instance on points and some kind of way to generate a circle and then aligning it into the vector, aligning the rotations. But anyway, yeah, let's just use this. For example, if we are using something like a cone, plug this there. Yeah, it's gonna be a cone, and you can transform the cone. The cone doesn't look like it's radial until you rotate it 90 degrees and you control the radius. You might definitely want to play around with this at some point. So for our purpose, we're not going to be using cone. We're going to be using just grid, simple grid. Let's save this very quickly. Array radial ETK. So we have a polygon face that we can simply adjust in radius and count number. So you can create animations actually just using this, but we're gonna be using grease pencil and instance it using this object. Shift A, create grease pencil, example monkey head, and then you can select this and then shift select this guy and then command P. That's also set a parent, so it's gonna be parented. After you do that, you go to object mode, instancing, and instance it on the face or vertices. But you can see it doesn't seem to work. Why? Because you need to realize instance. Okay, now after you realize instances, you can now instance on the vertices or the face. If you instance it on the face, you can see the face is doing that because we have too many vertices. Yeah. So this is basically what you want. You can scale face by face size, and you don't want to display it on the viewport on the render. So now every time if we select this, it's selecting the cube, and yeah, we want to have some control of the radius and the count, so we just pipe it out. Radius, count. All right, so yeah, now we have it. You can play around with this, with the rotations, scale. So we just recreate the example earlier. You can always go back to Susan head. This is the original grease pencil head. You can see this is actually made up of lines and fills. I can go to edit mode, and I'm in the under this layer lines, and then just delete everything here, and then go to draw mode, and then pick a brush, pick a radius, and start drawing something you want. If you want to see this from the top view, you just go to the top view, start doodling. So this is something super abstract that you can create, but I usually like to use mirror anyway. So mirror, and suddenly we have totally different kind of like different symmetry. We have symmetry going on, so it's gonna create like a really wild artwork. This could work as a tattoo or like an artwork for like a t-shirt. I don't know, you have to play around with this, and try using different color even, but I like it just like a black and white. Yeah, totally psychedelic artwork. I don't know, it's just suddenly you have like this so much details happening. You have control over the radius, and you also can control the, okay, there's the center control, the rotation, right? We haven't really touched that. So there's the rotations. Of course, with the, yeah, this is one example of Erindale Toolkit Radial Array, but I have another one like oh, circle array. Yeah, this is the one I made last night. Very similar. Radius with a seed and a count. So what is this? In this case, I'm using this mesh line and then instancing some random boxes. I have to play around with this just to get something that's more interesting to show you. This is where's Erindale Toolkit? Okay, this is Erindale Toolkit. This set position. You can rotate in the instance and get a completely different result like this. I don't know, maybe we can like make like a tunnel like this, like the board. Yeah, you can actually do this using geometry nodes as well, but it's really whether you want to do this or give it a bit of control to the users. Sometimes doing it on the object level is a little bit easier for the brain instead of having to do everything over here. So this is the second example. So it's basically just radial and an instancing of another objects, and suddenly you have something that's looking really complicated. Maybe this is what you want to achieve. So I like to geek around with the geometry nodes, and I think it's really a lot of fun. In the end, you probably want to create some kind of artwork, so not just being a nerd with nodes. But anyway, it's still a lot of fun, and it's good for concept art. Maybe this is some kind of tower, Babylon tower. So yeah, but yeah, that's the idea basically. Erindale Toolkit. There's a lot of nodes. I really like the wire flow as well. You can just plug this and you get this all kind of weird wires. All right, so hopefully this is useful. Thanks again for tuning in, and I'll see you next time. Thank you.